Hello everyone, this is Hattie. In this video, we will learn Chapter 8.8 Credit Cards. Using a credit card is an example of an open-end installment loan, commonly called revolving credit. Open-end loans differ from fixed installment loans, such as car loans and mortgages. So there is no schedule for paying a fixed amount each period. Credit card loans require users to make only a minimum monthly payment that depends on the unpaid balance and the interest rate. Credit cards have high interest rates compared to other kinds of loans. The interest on credit cards is computed using a simple interest formula, I equals PRT. However, R represents the monthly interest rate, and the T is time in months rather than in years. Actually, the P equals the average daily balance. We will learn it later and give you the calculator to find the P. Here is example. A typical interest rate is 1.57% monthly. This is equivalently to yearly rate of 12 times 1.57%, or 18.84%. With such a high annual percentage rate, credit card balance should be paid off as quickly as possible because the rate is very high. So read this part by yourself. The next part, find the interest, the balance due, and the minimum monthly payment for credit card loans. Interest on credit cards, the average daily balance method. This method for calculating interest or finance charges on credit cards may vary, and the interest can differ on credit cards that show the same annual percentage rate, or APR. The method used for calculating interest on most credit cards is called the average daily balance method. How does it look like? Because we mentioned about the interest of the credit card is calculated by I equals PRT. The P is average daily balance. We should find the P. R is provided, and T here is 1 month. That means 1. Do you remember that the T for, put it here, for the fixed installment loan, like the car loans and the mortgages, we use a T as the unit of year. But in the credit card, the T here is months. The units are different. So the T here is on months. Okay, let's see how can we find the P, average daily balance. The average daily balance is the sum of the unpaid balance for each days in billing period divided by the sum of this. The average daily balance is the sum of the unpaid balances for each day in the billing period divided by the number of days in the billing period. They gave you the formula here. How to find the sum of unpaid balances for each day in the billing period? Okay, let me show you example. I need more space here. If I have a table, the table shows you the date and unpaid balance for each day. For example, for May, May 1st, you have unpaid balance is $1,000. May 2nd, you didn't do anything, so you still keep this unpaid balance is $1,000. On May 3rd, you got your paycheck from your work. You can pay, you maybe just pay $500. So, or $400. For example, you pay them $400. Your new unpaid balance is 1,000 subtract $400. You can put 600 here because 1,000 subtract 400 equals 600. And then in the following day, you didn't do anything. You still keep this amount. That's still 600. And May 5th, you go to restaurant and you spend $100. So the new balance is 600 plus $100. That's 700. So I erase this. I put 700 here. And then for many days, you didn't make any payment or you didn't go to store to buy things until May 20th. So in these days, you all have 700 unpaid bill. So 700. And on May 20th, you go to a restaurant or you go to a store. You spend $200. That means the unpaid balance increased plus 200. So I can say that's 900. So you keep on going, you didn't do anything, or you make some payment until May 28th. Until May 28th, your unpaid balance is $1,500. So in the following days until the last day of May is May 31st. You didn't do anything, so the unpaid balance is 1,500. Sum the unpaid balances for each day in the billing period. So I need to sum up these together for each days together, and then divided by number of days in the billing period. How many days in this billing period in May? There are 31 days. So the number of the days is 31. And this part, sum of the unpaid balances, is all of these monies. Here I listed. That equals 1,000 plus 1,000 plus 600 plus 600 plus 700 plus 700 and plus several 700 plus 900 plus 900 plus 900, then plus this plus this plus this. So that's a very long table. We can make it short. For example, we can make it short in the following example. In the example, the issuer of particular Visa card calculates interest using average daily balance method. The monthly interest rate is 1.3% of the average daily balance. The following transactions occurred during the May 1st to May 31st billing period. They shows us the transaction description and transaction amount. So we can convert it to the table we made. So the table can be like this. The first column is the date. We made some payment or the change. And then next column is unpaid balance. And then next column, we can put the number of days we have the at a number of days at each unpaid balance. So number of days of each unpaid balance. Okay, let's do this first. So on May 1st, May 1st, the unpaid balance is the previous balance. That's 1350. And how many days of this unpaid balance kept? From May 1st to May 8th. Oh, May 8th has the payment. So May 8th is not included. Okay, let's make it clear. Okay, so May 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th. So there are 7 days. You can also use 8 to subtract 1. You can get 7. And then May 8th, make a payment. So the unpaid balance decreased. So use this amount, subtract this amount, which is 1100. How many days does this unpaid balance keep? So from 8 to until May 10th. So May 8th, May 9th, that's 2 days. And May 10th, they buy the air tickets. So the unpaid balance increased. So use 1100 plus $375. That's 1475. How many days does it keep? So 20 subtract 10, that's 10 days. And next one is May 20th, is 520. Buy the books. So the unpaid balance increased. So use this amount plus this amount. That is 1532.5. How many days does it keep? Use 28 to subtract 20, at 8 days. And next part, that's the May 28th. So what's the new unpaid balance? Go to the restaurant. The unpaid balance increased. So use this amount plus 65.3, which is 1597.8. So how many days does this bill, this unpaid balance keep? So from May to May 31st, that's 4 days. So May 31st is included because this is the last day of the billing period. So some student ask me why you don't use 31 subtract 28. We have 3 days because when we do this, May 31st is excluded. But in our question, when we do the May 1st, the unpaid balance on May 1st, we didn't change it from here. So May 1st is included. So the number of this unpaid balance is 4 days. Okay, so actually we don't need the table to be drawn this long, so make it short. Okay, so right now we see the table is very short, it's good looking than before. And we can make another column. This column is the unpaid balance times the number of days of this unpaid balance. So I got 1350 times 7. Next one is 1100 times 2. And next one, I do the multiplication of these two, and then these two here, these two here. So here I sum up all of these numbers. I got a total here. The total is the sum of the unpaid balance for each day is in the billing period. So I have the total and then divided by the 31 because 31 days in May. That's the average daily balance. Oh, I have the space here. I'd better to move the table in this area and then run to the nearest cent. So I just copy my previous calculated information, the answer here. So the sum of the unpaid balance for the each day in the billing period. So this total amount is 45,051.2 and divided by 31 because 31 days approximately equals 145.326. And sometimes the number of days in the billing period could be 30 because not every month have 31 days. Some months has 30 days and some months has 28 days or 29 days, like in February. So it all depends on the question. If the question is January, it's in June, they have 30 days. So February, 28 days. You divide it, but the number should be changed. Okay, let's move on to see number B. The question, find the interest to be paid on June 1st. Next billing date, round to the nearest cent. I think we need more space here. Okay, the interest I equals PRT. The P we have found here. So we plug in the P 1453.26 times the R. I think the R is provided in the question. Oh, it's 1.3%. Times T. T is 1. So it's equals to about $18.89. So this is the interest. Next one, find the balance due on June 1st. The balance due equals the unpaid balance on the day before this date. So the day before June 1st is May 31st. So we find the unpaid balance on this date plus the interest we have find here. So that's the balance due. We can find the unpaid balance for the May 1st. Oh, it's this amount. My table doesn't look like that's beautiful. Okay, the unpaid balance is 1579. Oh, sorry, 1597.8. So this amount, because from May 28th, the unpaid balance didn't change. So the following days, the unpaid balance is still 1597.8. So this is the unpaid balance on the day before June 1st. Let me remember that. It's 1597.8 plus the interest, 18.89. That equals what? 1616.69. So this is the balance due on June 1st. Let's see next question. The credit card requires a $10 minimum monthly payment if the balance due at the end of the billing period is less than $360. Otherwise, the minimum monthly payment is 1/26 of the balance due, and at the end of the billing period, rounded up to the nearest whole dollar. What is the minimum monthly payment due by June 9th? So in the question, I think they provide some informations. Okay, here, payment due date, June 9th. So they said payment due by June 9th. So we need to compare the balance due with 360. If the balance due we have found, this one is greater than 360, the minimum monthly payment equals this amount times 1/36. If this amount we have found is less than 360, for example, the amount here we have found is $200, is less than 360. We need to pay $10 minimum monthly payment. Okay, for this question, we see that the balance due is 1,616 $0.60 okay, 69 cents. So it's more than 360. We need to find the minimum monthly payment by use this amount times 1/36. Times 1/36, which is let me copy the answer. I don't need to calculate. So it's about $45 per month, a monthly payment. That's the minimum monthly payment. Round up to the nearest whole dollar. The minimum monthly payment due by June 9th is 45. So round up to the nearest whole number. The whole number here is 5. Even we have decimals here, we need to round them up. So what's the meaning of round up? You have 45.3. So rounded up is 46. Even we have the 3 here. Because they said round up. So we have round up here. So that's 46. Okay, let's move on to see. Oh, here are detailed solutions. So you can, if you think the video is not that helpful, you just read the lecture notes without watching the video, because sometimes you're good at reading. The lecture notes will be more helpful than the video. Okay, here are the procedures. And here they showed you how to find the average daily balance. The first step, make a table that shows the beginning dates of the billing period. So we made a table first. I put the date here. It shows the billing period, each transaction date, and the unpaid balance for each date. Oh, second column, that's the unpaid balance. And next step, add a column to the table that shows the number of days of each unpaid balance. Sorry. Next column is the number of days of this unpaid balance. And the next step, add the final column to the table that shows each unpaid balance multiplied by the number of days that the balance is outstanding. So this column, you use unpaid balance times number of days. You use this number multiplied by this, and you got this. And the next step, find the sum of the products in the final column of the table. So at the end of the table here, we need to add a part here. It's total. You sum up all of this. This is the total. That's the sum of unpaid balances for each day in the billing period. Next step, compute the average daily balance. Oh, you have this total. You divide it by the number of days in the billing period. For example, in May, you divide it by 31. If in June, you divide by 30. If in February, you divide by 28 or 29. Okay, let's move on to another question. The example here, your credit card has a balance of 3,400 and an annual interest rate is 16%. You decide to pay off the balance over 4 years. If there are no further purchases charged to the card, you must pay this amount each month, and you will pay a total interest this. Assume you decide to pay off the balance over 1 year rather than 4 years. Oh, that's led us to compare with the monthly payment for 4 years and 1 year, and the total interest for 4 years and for 1 year. Okay, let's see. Yeah, this is a question. How much more? Let me see my phone. Sorry. Okay, how much more must you pay each month? And how much less will you pay in total interest? Let's make more space here. Okay, I think it seems better for me. Okay, when you see this kind of question, credit card, you will think about the average daily balance. But this kind of question is, we don't need to find the average daily balance. This question just a trick question, because even that's about credit card, but we compute it as the fixed installment loan, like the car loans and the mortgages, because just like you borrow the money or you get the loan from the bank, you want to buy a car, $3,600 car, and then they give you the interest and you pay off over 4 years, and every year you need to pay how much? Oh, sorry, every month you need to pay the fixed amount of money. So we must use the PMT formula to find every month how much you need to pay. They already provide us every month you should pay this amount of money if you choose to pay off all of your balance over 4 years. But the question asks you, assuming you decide to pay off the balance over 1 year, so they are looking for the 1 year's PMT. They gave us the PMT for 4 years. Compare this PMT and this PMT. So the PMT equals P times R over N divided by 1 subtract 1 plus R over N to the negative NT. We need to plug in all the informations in the question. The P is 3,400 times R is 16% converted to the decimals. That is 0.16 over the N is 12 because you pay you pay bi-monthly. That means 12 times a year. You pay 12 times a year. N is 12. And the bottom, the denominator is 1 minus 1 plus R is 0.16 over 12 to the negative N is 12. T is a year. So we use the calculator to find this amount. Let's use the calculator. What are these? That's clear. 3,400 times let's see 0.16 divided by 12 and divided by parentheses 1 subtract 1 plus 0.16 divided by 12. Sorry, 12. Close the parentheses to the negative 12 times 1. Times 1 means times just times don't just a time 1 itself. And then click right arrow this one and then close the parentheses. How much of that? What can we get? Is 308.4849 something. So it's approximately is dollar sign 308.48. So this is the PMT I paid for each month if I want to pay off the balance over 1 year. You can compare this PMT and this PMT. They are asking how much more. So that means I use 308.48 subtract 96.37. That equals 212.11 more each month. And next one, how much less will you pay total interest? So we must to find the total interest we paid for if I paid off the balance over 1 year. So the interest equals the PMT times 12 because this is each month I need to pay. Times 12 means I need to pay 12 months in a year, and then times T is 1 year. Subtract the amount, the balance is 3,400. Use your calculator to find what is that. Actually, when you plug in the PMT here to here, Maybe you got the answer here. You got an answer, and then you plug it in your MATLAB math. They said this is not the accurate answer. I tried this, so I don't know why it happened. So I go back to my calculator here to see. Okay, you see here, on the right hand side, on the corner of the right hand side, the number, it has a lot of decimals, and then in the but here I only keep 2 decimals, so I try to use I try to not round it to the 2 decimals, round up or do something. So I just use the number, clear it. I just use this amount of number and then do the computation, and my lab math told me that's the correct answer. So when you to find the interest, the PMT, you try to use this amount of money, not the money we round it to, not the money here. So the PMT I need to plug it in should be, oh, I have really bad memory. I should take a picture here. Okay, let's see. Okay, I keep all the decimals here. Where's the picture? Is 308.484916721, this amount of money, and then times 12, subtract 3400. Okay, use this amount times 12, subtract 3400, enter the answer. Do I do something wrong? Oh, that's correct. This is the right one. Okay. So I got the total interest that I paid if I pay off for a year is 301.819,000. So this amount. And then let's see the question. How much less will you pay the interest? So use this one, subtract, or use this one, subtract this one. The difference between these two, which is how much more? How much more? Oh, sorry, how much less interest? How much less interest I can save? So it's 1225 .76 subtract 301.819, that equals 923.94. Okay, so I can save this amount of money if I pay off in a year. Okay, the following part is the detailed about how to solve the question. Okay, I think I have a typo here. You will pay this. So I think this part should be how much less interest you can pay. So how much you can save if you pay off in a year. So the description shouldn't be you will pay. Okay, that's all about this chapter 8.8. Yeah, 8.8. If you have any question, please let me know, and have a good day.